And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I'm net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring 3,500 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And we also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting. A 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have all the actual masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher level of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 5 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia specifically, and in addition we're running our newer number 5 Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver, loaded with 50 additional pre-programmed Internet SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the eastern half of the United States, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now, the audio from these 5 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also in this selector is our local receiver audio. And today our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. These are run as a directional scanner array with a manual voting system 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our NOSWR specially oriented resonant tuned dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant tuned dipole antenna runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And other conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator, so when we switch from an internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. As we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. We pray that you'll protect everyone, especially our elderly, and also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you'll reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters, and through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now, with all that being said, let's open it up and see who's out there. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.
Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Victor X-ray. I'll repeat, it's Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Victor X-ray. Over.
Roger, Yankee Victor X-ray. And what's the name there?
The name is Tim, Tango India Mike.
Roger, Tim, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
I'm 45 miles east of Lexington, Kentucky. Is that a Roger?
Roger, Roger. Okay, well, if you would, Tim, and what radio are you running today?
I'm running a Kenwood TS590 Sugar Golf. QSL?
Roger, Roger. And if you would, sir, why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, and let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Hey, Roger on that, Jim. Hey, Roger on that, Jim. The antenna system, it's about 65 feet long. It slopes from about 20 feet high down to about 10 feet high at the other end, and it's about 65 feet long, and it slopes to the west, and running about 250 watts here. Over.
Roger that, Tim. Well, let's see. Gosh, if you'd be interested in our setup, it starts with you double-checking to be sure that that radio is in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. That's the one we prefer. It allows that transmitter to be all that it can be, and then gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation, Roger.
Hey, Roger on that, Jim. Yeah, I went through the setup procedure a couple weeks ago, and I got confused, but I did take notes, and also it's on. But I did take notes, and also it's on your website there on YouTube. And I should be perfect. My transmitter bandwidth is 100 to 2900, my ALC is about 2/3, and my compression is no more than 10 dB, and I like to have my lips on the microphone, so I've got the mic gain turned down a little low, and but I think I've got my radio perfectly set. Over.
Roger that, sir. Well, you know, your mic gain affects directly your ALC level. So once you set your ALC level with your mic level, as you say the word audio, you become a human test generator, and that allows you, since that word audio is so pure and consistent, it easily lets you adjust your ALC to 7 or 2/3, whichever comes first. And it's much easier than complex word signals, you know, where you're talking and you're trying to set it up that way. Audio gives you a constant audio signal to adjust your ALC with. Roger?
Hey, Roger, on that, Jim, yeah. Yeah, I have a habit of yelling on the microphone. I don't know why I do that, but I'm just talking in a normal tone of voice, like if you were sitting here next to me, I'm going to say audio. Audio. Yeah, I'm 2/3 on the audio there, Jim, and I think I've got my radio perfectly set up, and I was going to get your opinion on the sound of my station there. Over.
Yes, sir, you are. You're about 3 dB dynamic range in your audio, and that's just perfect. It scrunches up, you know, like we were saying, an unprocessed signal is about what they call a 10 dB dynamic range situation. And then as you start processing, you start whittling away on that dB range. And what we like to do is bring it down to about 3 dB dynamic range, and that gives you the words still have movement and life to them, but they're, you know, that's an extremely loud signal. Average percent of peak modulation is somewhere around 80 to 85%. So in looking at your signal on a VU meter, your dynamic range is just perfect. Your audio curve is perfect. I would not change a thing. Just leave it that way. Roger?
Hey, Roger, on that, Jim, and I really appreciate the effort that you take to get everybody's radio sounding good. I mean, you helped me tremendously. I had a lot of questions, and you know how you try to get information, and you kind of you never know what you're going to hear, but I like what you're doing, and it's a great benefit to the ham community, and I just wanted to thank you for that. And I'll get off of here and let you go to the next station. I'm sure there should be somebody out there that would like to get the radio sounding better. So, Jim, with that, I'll turn it back to you. This is Kilo Mike 4, Yankee Victor X-Ray.
Roger, Tim. Yes, sir. Thanks for dropping by. If you'd like to hear your audio, again, if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,500, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. So with that being said, man, 73, sounding really good. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
This is Kilo Echo 8 Hotel Golf Alpha.
Kilo Echo 8 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo Echo 8 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo Echo 8 Hotel Golf Alpha.
Was that the Hotel Golf Alpha? Is that a Roger?
Was that the Hotel Golf Alpha? Is that a Roger?
Yes, sir, it is.
Roger, and what's the name there?
Roger, and what's the name there?
You got Tom here in Michigan.
Okay, got the state. Try the name one more time.
Okay, got the state. Try the name one more time.
Tom, Tango, Oscar, Mike.
Roger, Tom, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Tom, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Kenwood, TS-130 out in my garage out here, just messing around with it.
Roger that. Well, gosh, sounds pretty good there. Tell you what, if you would, why don't you tell me about your antenna system in 10 seconds or so, and let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger? 10
seconds or so, and let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger?
Okay, yes, I've got and it's strung up between some pine trees. One end's probably 50 feet, and the other one's about 70 feet. And just out in the garage out here, that's why I got this old radio. It's just, it's heated sometimes, and sometimes it's out here. So, that's some dirt. It's a working garage, so I don't want to leave any new equipment out here, but just kind of thought I'd check in and see what you had to say about this radio. I'm not looking for any great details right now, but just seeing what you thought.
Yes, sir. Sounds pretty good. There are some things that we should check, though. Is that a newer radio or an older radio?
Things that we should check, though. Is that a newer radio or an older radio?
It's an old one. This is probably from the early days of that time.
Roger, Tom. Having a little bit of difficulty copying you. If you had something in the closet to fire up, it sure would be helpful. But I'm assuming, since that's not happened, that you don't have anything in the closet, Roger?
Happened that you don't have anything in the closet, Roger?
Yeah, Roger. Just a basic setup out here in the garage. In the house, I do have an amplifier. So I just kind of mainly listen out here in the garage most of the time.
Roger that. Well, gosh, I could, if you know that radio, you probably don't have an adjustable transmit bandwidth. It's probably fixed, and it's probably like a 2700, 2.7K transmit bandwidth, something like that, since it's an older radio. But you might check your book, because you do want to operate in the highest realm you can, provided it's 100 to 2900. You would be best in that frequency range if you could get it, but if not 100 to 2900, then the highest frequency that you can get it in would help its resolution as far as transmitting the audio curve, because as you come off your transmit bandwidth, you start to rolling off the top end of your audio, and you don't want to do that, because a ham radio needs all the articulation that it can get, because most of the time you're in less than a perfect transmit situation, so you want the maximum amount of intelligibility that you can put out there, and that has to do with the top-end audio spectrum as far as articulation is concerned. Roger?
Spectrum as far as articulation is concerned. Roger?
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to just say hello to you there. I've been listening along there and learning a little bit from you, or a whole lot, I guess. But currently I don't have a new type radio. I got old stuff for now, but I'm certainly wanting to get into that, to have the waterfall and all that kind of stuff. I'm looking into it.
Yes, sir. Well, I can understand. I looked at the price is just as, boy, $3,000-$4,000. Come on, man, just let me get on the air. That's the beautiful thing about the 7300. Its price is very manageable, I think, in comparison to $3,000 and $4,000 radios. I'm sure those are better radios, but a 7300 does just fine for me. I love the 7300 transmitter. It's just so beautiful. Very limited distortion, and it just is just beautiful. I think one of the best transmitters I've ever I've ever heard. So anyway, your audio, as I look at it on a VU meter off that 73, well, let's see here. We're using the PASDR at the moment to copy your mail, but it looked like your audio dynamic range was about 3 dB, which is just perfect, and the curve sounded pretty good too. I think we could use, if you have an onboard equalization page, if you wanted to punch up the treble EQ just a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 clicks, that would help your articulation. Roger?
3 clicks, that would help your articulation, right?
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, you know, you're a mind reader. The 7300 is what my goal is. And I've been reading about them and so forth, and I think that's the best bang for your buck. And that would be a huge learning curve for this man to operate that thing correctly. And definitely, if I get my hands on one here in the future, I will be getting back to you.
Roger, sir. Tom, you know, that 7300 really has had a life expectancy that far exceeded, I'm sure, the ICOM's imagination, and there will come a time when that price maybe will start coming down some more. Now, I don't know anything specifically about that, but I'm just hoping for my fellow amateur radio operator that you know, that price on the 7300 might be even more reduced as they go towards their 10 billionth transceiver. But anyway, the signal, I think, is great. I wish I had a better copy on you, and I wish you were maybe in the house there with your PA so you could pump it up just a little bit more. But I understand you're out there, so I would say as a second radio, as alternative, I think that radio is doing just fine. Could use just a little more top end.
Could use just a little more top end.
Okay, my friend. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to listen out here for another half hour or so. Pleasure talking to you. KD8 HGA clear, 73.
Roger, Tom, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you want to hear your radio, if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,500, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. So with that being said, we say 73 again, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Station ending in whiskey, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Ending in whiskey, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Charlie Sierra Whiskey.
Charlie, I got you now on my Kentucky SDR, so come back one more time with that call sign, please, sir.
Kentucky SDR, so come back one more time with that call sign, please, sir.
Hello, Charlie. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. You still have a copy?
Kilo Victor, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. You still have a copy?
SED9 CSW Whiskey Delta 9 Charlie Sierra Whiskey.
Charlie Sierra Whiskey, Roger, and what's the name?
Charlie Sierra Whiskey, Roger, and what's the name?
Harry. I'm running on 20 watts. I'm in Bedford, Indiana. Roger.
Roger, Harry in Indiana. Whereabouts in Indiana are you?
Roger, Harry in Indiana. Whereabouts in Indiana are you?
In Bedford, Indiana, 75 miles south of Indy.
Roger, Roger. Well, we're down around Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Kentucky, Roger.
Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Kentucky, Roger.
Well, we're about neighbors then, Roger.
Yes, sir. But I have a lot of different antenna options. I have 5 internet SDRs plus my local antennas. So if you would, why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, and let me look around for a better path, Roger?
Your antenna system, and let me look around for a better path, Roger.
All righty. It's 29. I called a 5-0. 29. Colosso, I think. But they call it made by Colosso, I think. But they call it 50.com. You look it up fast that way. But it's about 35 foot off the ground there. They recommend about 20 foot, but I got it up just a little higher than that. Roger?
Roger that, Harry. And gosh, what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger that, Harry. And gosh, what radio are you running today, sir?
That's the Icon 7600, and I'm getting about 20 watts out PEP all right now.
Roger, Roger. Now, is that radio designed to run at 100 watts? That's a 7600. Is it designed to run at 100 watts?
That's a 7600. Is it designed to run at 100 watts?
Yes, it's a 7600 actually, and but I ain't got a good watt meter at all. I can read it as 20, but I need to get me a high frequency watt meter, Roger.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, gosh, I guess just trying to think of a way that you could set that up. But you do need a watt meter. Well, does it have an internal watt meter? Is there an internal watt meter on that radio?
Internal watt meter? Is there an internal watt meter on that radio?
I've got the power out there. I'm trying to do it about 95%. I'm talking.
Yes, sir. So you have the RF level of that transmitter turned up all the way. In other words, it's trying to generate 100 watts through its capabilities. You're not turning it down at all. It's just running, trying to make 100 watts. Is that a Roger?
Trying to make 100 watts. Is that a Roger?
Okay, Roger. It probably needs to be peaked up. It's about the one of the first ones coming out from 7600 here. It might need a little doctor.
Roger, Roger. Well, I think probably the best plan would be to get a good watt meter. So you can make sure what you see is what is really happening, and a good watt meter, is one that you can really count on. Roger, Roger.
It's one that you can really count on. Roger, Roger.
Hey, Roger, I run on 10 meters. I guess 100 out of it on 10 meters, but I don't know. On the high frequencies, it's a little different, I think.
Roger, does the radio read higher on higher frequencies?
Does the radio read higher on higher frequencies?
Well, on the 10 meters, it runs up, that meter I got is meant to, I can go as far as I can't go, 40 meters, it's won't read at all.
Roger that, Roger that. Well, like I say, I think the best thing would be maybe to get a reliable watt meter so you know exactly what that radio is doing. If you have any doubts, it's not an unusual, it's a very unusual situation to just be running 20 watts when you're wide open on a 100 watt transmitter. So it could be that the internal watt meter reading on that radio is incorrect, or who knows? But if you have a good, reliable watt meter, it'll tell you exactly what's what it's putting out. And a 100-watt radio should put out 90 to 100 watts, 95, right in there. And there are some people I've run across, and this is one of my rants, I guess. There are some folks that want to run their radio at less than designed transmit level out. In other words, they want to run it at 10 watts, 20 watts, which you can do that, but to me, it doesn't make any sense. You always want, I would think, to put your best foot forward. And certainly, whatever the difference is, 100 watts is going to be better than 20 watts. Now, if it's something, a personal thing that one wants to try to conquer the world on 20 watts, well, then they should pilot their ship however they choose, But I'm just saying, in a normal situation, if the radio is designed for 100 watts, just let it run at 100 watts, Roger.
Designed for 100 watts, just let it run at 100 watts, Roger.
Yeah, I agree, but I just guess because I ain't got the meter, I get on CW, he's about 30 watts, or AM too. So, that's 30 watts on that, but there's supposed to be 100 watts video sideband, right?
Yes, sir. Well, like I say, you'll feel better if you were to get yourself a very trusty watt meter, and you might spend a little bit more for a good name watt meter, but the idea that the consistency and the correctness of the readings that you get, I think supersede the maybe a slightly additional expense. Because, like I say, you do want something that you can trust. And there are those meters now that read SWR and forward power readings simultaneously. And I understand that, but I'm used to that switch that says forward and reverse, and that reverse gives you your SWR, and you can also calibrate your bridge that way. In other words, if you were to hook up your sample backwards, in other words, SWR bridge has an input and an output. So if you get your reading, if you just want to double check the correctness of your radio, your instrument there, you take your measurements one way, and then reverse your input and output on your watt meter, and you should have the same reading, but backwards. And that way you have tested your bridge for a balance and correctness, Roger.
Did your bridge for a balance and correctness, Roger?
Hey, Roger. Well, I've checked. I got a standing wave meter still, and they ain't none on it. It only register of one. It's good on that part, Roger.
Roger. Now you have an old CV SWR bridge. Is that what you're saying?
Old CV SWR bridge. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's got built in the radio. The 7600 is just, built in standing wave.
Roger, Harry, it kind of faded out on the end of that. Gosh, I can't really tell you much there. I don't have that good a signal on you. That's the unfortunate thing. I've been up around New York and my local Kentucky antenna most of the time trying to pull you out, but you have been running max at about 3 decibels above the noise level, and then Mother Nature pulls you back in below the noise level. Roger?
Pulls you back in below the noise level. Roger?
Hey, Roger. They're about the same. I got about a 7 noise level, Roger.
Yes, sir. Well, some times are better than other times. Propagation is just amazing. When it happens, boy, everything is just crystal clear from hundreds of miles away, and when it's not, boy, you can't hardly get across the street, Roger.
And when it's not, boy, you can't hardly get across the street, Roger.
Yeah, it's pretty close. It's hard to get out. Usually I've seen that.
Yeah, I had a 20 over on you earlier when you was talking to the other gentleman, but it's dropping out now. The sunspots are probably acting up again, coming in, plasma.
Roger. Now, there is one thing, Harry. Your audio curve is kind of mid-rangey. It does have quite a bit of content up around that 1 kc, 1.5K area. And I'm wondering, do you do have inboard equalization capability? Is that a Roger?
Inboard equalization capability. Is that a Roger?
Guys, Harry, we still making the trip that way?
Guys, Harry, we taking the trip that way?
Yeah, you're still there. What are you talking about, the mic gain, turn it down, or something like that?
No, I was just curious if you had a internal equalization page on that radio. Do you have equalization capabilities on that radio?
Do you have equalization capabilities on that radio?
I don't understand what you're talking about. I'm kind of new at this.
Okay, equalization is when you can control the sound of the audio, and you can crank in more top end or more bottom end. It's an equalizer that helps you determine the transmit clarity of your signal. And if you had that, you could advance your treble EQ a little, about 2 or 3 decibel push, and it would help your the top end of your audio and articulation. But that radio may not have an equalizer built in. Roger.
May not have an equalizer built in. Roger.
It's got one. I know what you're talking about, the high and low tones.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, do you have one that has 3 controls, bass, mid-range, and treble? Does yours have 3 controls in it?
And treble? Does yours have 3 controls in it?
It's got that bass and treble, but it ain't, it's got that part. You can go from 100 to 2400.
No, that's interesting. That sounds like transmit bandwidth 100 to 2400. Do you have other options in that frequency range? We're talking about 2 different things, though. We're talking about audio equalizer and a transmit bandwidth adjustment. And on the transmit bandwidth adjustment, we would like to see everybody running 100 to 2900, which allows them to have that transmitter be all that it can be, and then also at the last minute give you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. On the other hand, then we talk about your mic equalizer control, and it has usually a bass, mid-range, and treble. Now, some of the newer equalizers do not use a mid-range control, and they have that fixed. And that's my thought also, that if you do have a 3-band EQ, you want that mid-range control to be off or flat on that mid-range EQ control, because what happens is if you mess with the mid-range control, then it becomes so much harder for the treble to catch up and the bass to catch up to the mid-range. And the whole idea behind an equalizer is to strike a balance between the top and the mid-range and the bottom of the mid-range. And if you, like I say, if you boost the mids, then it's so much harder for the treble and the bass to catch up. So if you do have a 3-band, we suggest that you take that mid EQ control to off or flat. Your mid-range control off or flat if you have one.
Flat. Your mid-range control off or flat if you have one.
Hey, Roger, I just got tone, bass and treble, and high and low. Got to adjust in between them. I adjusted it back some. Does it sound any different?
It sounds like upper mids. Now, just out of curiosity, how far are you away from your microphone? If try coming in about 2 inches closer than where you have been. Try coming in about 2 inches closer.
Than where you have been. Try coming in about 2 inches closer.
Well, actually, I got a headset here. I got it off, and it's hanging on another radio. Get it off there. Got some stuff here. I can't get it out of there. I just, like I'm free in the air there, so I'll put it on my head here.
Yeah, Tom, if you've got a copy there. The thing was, I'm catching some room noise. That room must be fairly alive. So normally I suggest taking that boom mic on the headset out in front of you as far as it will go, and at the last minute make a 90. But I'm catching a lot of, some room noise there. So what I'm suggesting now maybe for you is to pull that mic about just an inch and a half or 2 inches from your lips, and let me hear you at that proximity, Roger.
From your lips, and let me hear you at that proximity, Roger.
Okay. It's about 3 inches now. I got it on my head. I was in the air there. I got some fans running on a power supply. You probably hear it, maybe.
Oh, actually, it was room noise. You're sounding a lot better now without that. I would try to run it like that if I could. It's still. Let me ask you this: what is your base equalization reading on that equalizer? What is your base equalization reading at the moment?
What is your base equalization reading at the moment?
Hang on here, man. It's +5.
Your base is +5 at the moment?
+5.
Your base is +5 at the moment?
Yes, the base is +5, and its treble is +5.
Okay, and is that the top end for your capability there is a +5? Is that the best that equalizer will do?
Is that the best that equalizer will do?
Yeah, it's wide open.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, gosh, I would run it closer like we had it there. It sounded fuller. What you might want to do is go back and check your ALC reading just to be sure that you're not exceeding that 2/3 or 7 reading. Since you changed the position to that microphone, so sometimes when we get most of the times when we get closer to a microphone, the output of that microphone comes up. So it's a good idea if we change our positioning to the microphone to double check to be sure that that mic is still in the proper sweet spot. So I would say go back to your ALC reading with mic gain in hand, and as you say the word audio, adjust you become a human test tone generator and adjust your mic level control until your ALC meter is reading 7 or 2/3, Roger.
ALC meter is reading 7 or 2/3, Roger.
Hey, Roger, that's all righty. Audio. There's 7.
Yes, sir. Now, gosh, tell me about the best thing you like about your radio, and let me listen to your audio.
Gosh, tell me about the best thing you like about your radio, and let me listen to your audio.
It's just, I don't know, it does a little bit of everything, but I ain't got into that yet. There's a lot of ready and all that stuff I'd like to do. I'm kind of a new ham general. I've done CW way back in the 70s. I kept my license alive till about a year and a half ago when I went ahead and studied, got my tech, and got my general there, Roger.
Roger, Harry. Now, I have a question for you. Could your radio possibly have an equalizer on switch somewhere? Do you have to turn on your equalizer to have it work, or is it ready to work all the time without having to turn it on, Roger?
Is it ready to work all the time without having to turn it on, Roger?
Well, you got your mic gain, and then you got your RF power out. You got 2 knobs in that. And all that for CW. Variable knobs, and then you got the one split on your tone, transmit tone, bass, treble. You get in that menu, you can do plus from the 5 or 5 plus each one, or I can hit zero when I do that, and there's one. That's default bass, default treble. Does that sound any better?
I think where you were was best. I was just trying to, you're kind of mid-rangey, and I was trying to see if we could add some more bass. But if you're fully, it doesn't sound like you're fully boosted on the bass EQ. But if it's on and you're showing a +5 on your bass control, then that's what's happening, Roger.
Bass control, then. That's what's happening, Roger.
Hey, Roger, I got my compression set as narrow bandwidth too.
Roger. Now it's set the compressor. If you have an input control to your compressor, we suggest a 3, and that's a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, just a third of the capabilities of that compressor processor. So 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100, Roger?
Processor. So 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100, Roger?
Hey, Roger, I got her set here about a third.
Try that one more time.
Try that one more time.
I had it set at third level right now. I was just on the narrow side.
Roger, so you don't have an actual control to your input to your compressor processor. You have maybe 3 or 4 fixed selections. Is that a Roger?
Make 3 or 4 fixed selections. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, I got a menu. I got compression on, off. You get it not wide, narrow, and then you got your main dial when you turn it.
Roger, Harry. Well, I think it's sounding good as as we can. It looks like it's about a 3 dB dynamic range. It's up there. I just wish we could have cranked in a little more bottom end. Might have made it just a little nicer. But it's like I say, it's fully articulated. You can understand exactly what's being said, Roger.
Fully articulated. You can understand exactly what's being said, Roger.
Roger there, Harry. So let me say 73 to you, sir. I think I'm losing you now. So you have a real good afternoon. If you want to hear your audio, what we've got of it, if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,500, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So with that being said, we'll say 73 again, and you have a great afternoon. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to hear you there, Harry. 73. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Bravo 8 Whiskey Echo Tango.
Oh, here's Tango Echo Romeo. Yeah.
Echo Tango station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Echo Tango station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo Bravo 8 Whiskey Echo Tango.
Whiskey Echo Tango, is that a Roger?
Whiskey Echo Tango, is that a Roger?
Roger. KBHWET.
Roger that, and what's the name there?
Roger that, and what's the name there?
Tango, India, Michael.
Roger, Tim, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Roger, Tim, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Grove City, Ohio.
Roger, Ohio, and what radio are you running today, Tim?
Roger, Ohio, and what radio are you running today, Tim?
Jeju, FT DX 1200.
Roger that, Roger that. That's a newer radio, isn't it?
Roger that, Roger that. That's a newer radio, isn't it?
Not too old. It's new to me. It's been around a while, though.
Roger, Roger. Well, the first thing, on our setup is to double check to be sure that we're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth if it has that capability. Hang on just a second. I'm having to reprogram one of my SDRs. It got off frequency, and I don't know why that is, but sometimes it does that, and if I don't look down, then we got a problem. 7188. All right, you want to double check to be sure you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, TBW. And if you're not familiar with that, maybe you want to check with your book there to see what they say about that. But our suggestion is to run that TBW in the 100 to 2900 mode if you can reach that, and that will let your transmitter be all that it can be, and then give you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. Roger?
Daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. Roger?
Roger on that, but what'd you call that that I need to look up?
Okay, it's called transmit bandwidth, TBW, and it has to do with how wide that your transmitter is transmitting the signal. And 2900 it gives you the opportunity to get the max audio top in, and then gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. So that's the good part about it. And it's called TBW, transmit bandwidth, and like I say, the magic numbers are 100 to 2900. Roger?
The magic numbers are 100 to 2900. Roger?
Okay, Roger on that. And how does the audio sound to you?
Sounds pretty good. What I want to do now is maybe if you could tell me about your antenna system in about 10 seconds, and I can check some alternative receive situations and see if I can find a better path for us. Roger?
Receive situations and see if I can find a better path for us. Roger?
Okay, it's G5RV, and it's up here 40 or 50 feet, somewhere in that area.
Roger. Well, gosh, I'm getting a great copy on you on my local antenna, or actually my Cincinnati, Kentucky antenna, and our SDR, and then I'm catching you real well in my New York SDR, and even better in my Pennsylvania SDR. So you're sounding really good. You're just running 100 watts. Is that a Roger?
You're sounding really good. You're just running 100 watts. Is that a Roger?
Oh, no. I'm running 300, it looks like. 300. Shut it down. You want me to shut it down and see what it does?
No, never. Always put your best foot forward. That's the thing. So, I got an email the other day, and it was somebody that we had to talk together, and in his comment, he was saying, well, I wish I'd have known that my signal wasn't as good as yours, because I did have a power amplifier that I could have turned on. And I'm thinking, well, but I didn't reply to it. You know, everybody's got to do their thing. But I believe if you have a power amplifier, then you should probably run it. I think you'll be much more satisfied as the operator of a amateur radio station, because it's kind of like an insurance policy that the communication is going to go well and reciprocate. Roger?
Is going to go well and reciprocate. Roger?
Roger on that. Yeah, I don't run it all full power. It's an American 811H, and I keep it tuned down, and I bought this thing brand new. I only had to repair it 3 times, but that's besides the point.
Yes, sir. Well, stuff like that happens as you move west. I've got a Heathkit SB220 that I've had for the last 11 years, and I run that thing just max out. 100-watt drive, and then max out the SB220. The thing I wouldn't want would be to run that. It's very difficult sometimes to run equipment at half power or something like that, because they're not designed for that. They're designed for 100 watts or whatever it is. And the thought is that if that RF isn't being consumed in the antenna, and you're still running the same voltage and current, where is that other power going? Maybe dissipating on your plates as a cherry or something like that,
Dissipating on your plates as a cherry or something like that,
I hear you. I heard a contact out there. Go ahead, contact.
Yeah, I didn't hear anybody all the way around the different SDRs, and I couldn't copy anybody. So anyway there, Tim, gosh, you are sounding really good. I would just keep it like that if you want to hear the audio. If you go to YouTube and do that, call it a search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,500, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger.
500, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Oh, Roger on that. Very good, very good. All right, thanks very much for the information. I've been sitting monitoring you here and learning a little bit about everything. So 73 to you, KB8WET, clear.
Roger, sir. 73, Tim. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey Bravo number 8, Romeo India Mike.
Columbia, India, Mike, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Columbia, India, Mike, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Whiskey Bravo number 8, Romeo India Mike.
Was that Romeo, India, Mike?
Was that Romeo, India, Mike?
Roger.
Roger that. What's the name there?
Roger that. What's the name there?
Name is Lee. Lima, Echo, Echo, Lee.
Roger, Lee, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Roger, Lee, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Bloomingdale, Ohio. Bloomingdale, Ohio, which is west of Steubenville, Ohio. Over.
Roger that, Lee, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger that, Lee, and what radio are you running today, sir?
I'm running my Kenwood TS830S. I did some alignment on it and shifted the carrier oscillator a little bit higher frequency. I'm using an M50 going through a W2 IE over.
Oh, roger that, Tim. Okay, sir, if you would, why don't you tell me about your antenna for about 10 seconds, and let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger?
And let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Okay, antenna is a double extended up for 40 meters, and at the bottom of LVG R100 automatic antenna tuner. I can work all bands. I can work all bands, 160 through 10 meters, over.
Roger that. Well, you're coming through about 3 or 4 of my SDR receivers, so you're definitely making a trip around the country, Roger, Roger.
Oh, yeah, good. I'm glad everything's working here. The last time I talked to you, we set the 830 up without the W2IHY box, and you said I could use something like that on the input because it sounded kind of flat. So I'm pushing about all the bass I can push through it. I have 2.1 narrow filters in the 830. I'm not running any processing. I can kick in hard. Okay, now I'm running a little bit of processing. Did that make any difference, over?
Sounded pretty good. I'll tell you what we should probably do. Did you say you do, or can you adjust your transmit bandwidth, your TBW? Do you have an adjustment for that? We're looking for that 100 to 2900 place, but if that's an older radio, it probably wouldn't have an adjustable transmit bandwidth, Roger?
It probably wouldn't have an adjustable transmit bandwidth, Roger.
Roger, no, it's fixed, over.
Yes, sir. And did we ever figure out if you had equalization capabilities that you could brighten that mic up some on your EQ?
You could brighten that mic up some on your EQ?
The last time I was on, I had a Shure 444D. Now I'm using a MC60, and I'm going through a W2IHY graphic equalizer, and I have the processing on, over.
Yes, sir. Okay, so why don't you take that outboard equipment and the treble, boost the treble 3 or 4 clicks from where it is, and let me listen to you. 3
or 4 clicks from where it is, and let me listen to you.
Okay, treble. The 1600 is at about plus 12. Now I'm up to plus 16, and I brought the 2400 up to plus 10, over.
Okay, so what we want to do is make sure that the mid-range is flat. That's around 900 to 1,000, 1 kc, 900 to 1,000 1 kc. That is your treble, your mid-range control. And what we want to do is make sure that that's flat or off. I think you said you maybe not even have a mid-range control. So then, you know what? The ideal push frequency for your top treble EQ is 2700. If you have an adjustable treble transmit band number, then I would put 2.7K, 2700, and that's the beautiful frequency to push, Roger.
That's the beautiful frequency to push, Roger.
Okay, no, I'm not numbered like that. I have 50 hertz, 100, 200, 400, 800, 1600, 2400, and 3200. So I'm going to, the 800 is on 8. Okay, I'm going to back that down to minus 16. Did that do anything?
No, I would take that 8. That's I'm thinking you're saying 800 cycles, and I would put that on 0 or off, plus or minus 0 or off. Do you have an off switch for those, or do you just do plus or minus 0?
For those, or do you just do plus or minus 0?
Plus or minus 0. I'm on 0 right now. I just put it on 0.
That's the 800 mid-range control?
That's the 800 mid-range control?
Roger.
Okay, so everything else should be flat as we move up the channel there. Then we go all the way to the top, that 32. I would take that. What's your max boost capability on that 3.2K?
Capability on that 3.2K.
It's plus 16 on all of them, over.
Okay, so what's the one below, just below 3.2K? What's that one?
Just below 3.2K. What's that one?
2400.
Okay, 24 is probably the best one to boost there, and we would want that to be at plus 3 clicks boost from where it is. Plus 3 clicks boost from where it is. Roger?
Boost from where it is. Plus 3 clicks boost from where it is. Roger?
Okay, I'm on the plus 12 right now, and now it's on plus 16. High as I could go.
Okay, and that's at 2400. Is that a Roger?
Okay, and that's at 2400. Is that a Roger?
Roger. Do you want me to shut my processing off?
No, leave that on. And so that 32, the next one up, I would go ahead and max that out too, just out of curiosity, and let me listen to you.
I would go ahead and max that out too, just out of curiosity, and let me listen to you.
Okay, the plus 16, plus 1600, 2400, and 3200 is maxed out. Over.
All right, sir. Now let's go to the bottom end. Your bass. What is the current reading of your bass equalizer?
What is the current reading of your bass equalizer?
50 hertz is on plus 4. 100 is on plus 8.
Okay, so take 100. Let's see. Take that to flat for right now. Flat on 100. And I would fully attenuate 50 cycles. I would take that at minus 16 or whatever you got there. Minus 16 on that, Roger?
16 or whatever you got there. Minus 16 on that, Roger?
Can you repeat that?
Okay, so you want to have one that's marked 50 cycles, and we would just want to get rid of that one. So it's minus whatever your maximum minus level is on that 50 cycle control. Roger?
Minus level is on that 50 cycle control. Roger?
Roger, it's on minus 16.
Yes, sir. Now I would. Your numbers are adjustable. In other words, you could crank in 200 where it says 100. You could make that 200. Is that a Roger?
200 where it says 100. You could make that 200. Is that a Roger?
100 and 200, all of them are separate slide, but I can slide them anywhere you want. Over.
Roger, but you can't change the actual frequency of that. Roger?
Roger, but you can't change the actual frequency of that, Roger?
Roger.
Okay, so let's see. Let's take that 100 to minus 3, the 100 control to minus 3, and then tell me about your radio and what you like best about your radio.
And tell me about your radio and what you like best about your radio.
Okay, there is mine. Since you're brand new back in 19... Had it since you're brand new back in 1982, and I did an alignment on it yesterday, and I redid the processing alignment according to an article that was on EHAM. The guy said that they made a mistake at Kenwood, and I did his processor alignment, and everything seems to be perking along pretty good. Over.
Yes, sir. It sounded pretty good. Just thinking, what type of microphone are you using now?
Thinking, what type of microphone are you using now?
An MC60. MC60.
Okay, that's a desk mic. Is that a Roger?
Okay, that's a desk mic. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, it's a Kenwood desk mic.
Alrighty, and about how close are you to that mic right now?
And about how close are you to that mic right now?
Oh, about 3 inches.
Okay, just out of curiosity, let's add 2 inches to that and get that back about 5 inches, and let me listen to you at 5 inches, Roger?
5 inches, and let me listen to you at 5 inches, Roger?
Okay, I'm back to 5 inches, and I got to crank the mic gain up to get the ALC to kick. Is that any better? Over?
Yes, sir. I think it sounds better. We're, losing a little bit on the bottom end. Proximity effect says that as the closer you get to a microphone element, the more bottom end you got. it's a buildup of low frequencies as you get closer, proximity effect. So by pulling off those 2 inches, you're increasing the top to the bottom relationship frequency-wise, and it's not quite as heavy on the bottom side when you're working with those 2 additional inches, Roger.
When you're working with those 2 additional inches, Roger.
Okay, I'll keep it where it's at. I'm still about 4 inches, 5 inches away. I did modify my W2IHY box. I'm not using the mic gain on the transceiver. The original W2IHY has screwdriver adjustments on the bottom for mic in and mic out. And I found some micro potentiometers and moved the controls to the top of the box. So I got everything convenient right here, so I can adjust the microphone out and with a little knob twist here, over.
Yes, sir. Now, I will caution you about one thing when you're using external audio gear. You don't want to come in too hot. There's a tendency to crank up that outboard gear and come in pretty hot. And what happens is that you're right on the borderline or into distortion on that front end of your first stage preamp. So what I have found is that it's a good idea to set your radio mic control to a 4 or a 5, somewhere in the middle there. So it's looking for a more nominal input level, 4 or 5, which would be a normal microphone. Well, that's the way you want to come in with your external gear. And so then, turn down your external gear until you are, running 4 or 5 on your regular internal mic control on your radio, and you're hitting 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter, Roger?
7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter, Roger.
Roger, that's basically what I'm doing. My mic gain is at 5 centered, and the W2IHY box has an overdrive LED on it, a red overdrive, and I'm not tripping it. So seems to be working pretty good right now, over.
Yes, sir, it is, and it's very clean. There's no distortion, so I think you do have it set up. I was just passing that along as a general piece of information, though. If somebody out there is working on putting some external stuff onto their mic, be sure and take that mic level up to a 4 or 5, and then adjust your external gear to match that on your ALC meter at sweet spot 7 or 2/3, whichever comes first there, and that will give you a range dynamically before you're into distortion. In other words, if your main mic internal control is down around 1 or half of 1, then you're right at the edge of distortion. So, that's why I'm suggesting that, and you're following that, you're up to about a 5, I think you said, and that's just ideal, Roger.
You're up to about a 5, I think you said, and that's just ideal, Roger.
Roger. Well, I'm happy camper now. Everything is going okay. I'm going to check. I'm running about, the compression is probably about 2 dB if I contract the needle fast enough. So I'm really not over compressing it. So I guess we'll leave it where it's at. I'm going to write these numbers down and go from there, over.
Yes, sir. I wouldn't change a thing. I think you're right there. Your dynamic range looks to be about 3 dB, which means that your average percent of peak modulation is between 80 and 85%. So that's just beautiful. And if you want to hear that audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. That's KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,500, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger.
500, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Okay, Roger. Thank you very much for the help, and I'll just sit by and listen to what's going on. 73s, God bless, Jim. KC9VKV from WB8RIM.
Roger, Roger Lee, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Kilo, Bravo, 9, Foxtrot, Whiskey Mike.
Foxtrot, Whiskey Mike, Roger, what's the name there?
Foxtrot, Whiskey Mike, Roger, what's the name there?
Roger, Indiana, and what's the name there?
Roger, Indiana, and what's the name there? Curtis, Jill.
Name is Curtis, is that a Roger?
Name is Curtis, is that a Roger?
Curtis, if you got a copy on me, why don't you tell me about your antenna system for about 10 seconds or so, and let me look around and see if I can find a better copy path, Roger?
See if I can find a better copy path, Roger? Okay.
Curtis, I'm not copying you that well. Let me see if I can bring up another SDR. It's shut down at the moment, so I've got to clear it, and then I got to hit a bookmark, and then I got to hit the location, and let's just see if it comes up. It's not coming up at the right frequency, though. I don't know why it gets off frequency. But let me try that. Okay, Curtis, come back and talk to me a little bit more and see if I got a better copy on you, Roger.
Better copy on you, Roger. The amateur radio business for close to 40 years or better. We used to have an old heat skip. I think SD01, I'm not really sure. And I just got back into the amateur radio a little over a month ago. It picked me up a 7300 Icon, and I really like it. So that's where I'm kind of standing now.
Roger, Curtis, what we want to be sure is that 7300 is running in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, TBW adjustment 100 to 2900. Are you familiar with that?
Adjustment 100 to 2900. Are you familiar with that? No, sir. I've been watching some YouTube videos about the 7300. There's a guy on there he's called A to Z. These new Fandango radios, his videos, these new Fandango radios they got today, I know nothing about them or how to use them, except to turn them on, push the button, and talk.
Roger, Curtis. Okay, let me give you, if you have a pad and pencil there, maybe I could give you some information. You could jot it down and then check it out at your leisure, Roger.
Jot it down and then check it out at your leisure, Roger. Videos. You're the first contact I've ever had in 40-something years, so I'll let you go and talk to some other people. I just wanted to see if this radio was even in the front yard. So I thank you for your time, and I'll sign out. with you in 73 to you, and thank you for coming to the Bastion. This is Kilo Bravo 9, Foxtrot Whiskey Mike, signing out.
Roger, Curtis. So just to review a couple of things, you are on that 7300 right now, Roger?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, and gosh, that 7300 is just a beautiful radio. It is just, I can't say enough about it. So I think you're very, very lucky there. There are some things that you should probably check out. And I was going to give you some information to check out, but maybe sometime when you're, more inclined to check things out, we can have another conversation, and I can give you some numbers to check out, Roger. So 73 Curtis, if you want to hear your radio or what we managed to get of it, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It's KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3500, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. So 73 Curtis, if you get a chance, join us next Friday. Maybe we'll have better conditions. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Give me a shout.
KC9,
There was a station, sound like 59 or something. If that sounds familiar, come back with your call sign slowly phonetically.
If that sounds familiar, come back with your call sign slowly phonetically.
Okay, I got Whiskey 4. Try one more time. I just changed my SDR, so give me that call sign one more time.
SDR, so give me that call sign one more time.
Whiskey 4, Papa Zulu November. Whiskey 4, Papa Zulu November.
Papa Zulu November, is that a Roger?
Papa Zulu November, is that a Roger?
That is a Roger. Good afternoon. There is Mark, Mike, Papa, Romeo, Kilo, and I'm operating from the train station in Scottsville, Virginia.
I think I copied you in Virginia. What I would like for you to do is give me your name. Let me have your name right now. Frequency is in use. Frequency is in use. I'm sorry, we had some inconsiderate person on the frequency. Frequency is in use. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, the Qso-Vlog net, and I'm talking to Papa Zanzibar November. And what is your name there?
Zanzibar November. And what is your name there?
The name is Mark. Mike, Papa, Romeo, Kilo.
Is that Mark? Mark?
Is that Mark?
QSL.
Roger, Mark. And what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Mark. And what radio are you running today, sir?
I am running Icon 7300. I built a Go box for her, and I'm testing it out inside the new Go box. So that it's an Icon 7300.
All right, Mark, what I would like for you to do, sir, is give me about 10 seconds. Tell me about your antenna system, and let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
And let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Roger. The antenna is about 30 right line to the back, and there's a few feet of coax from downwind to the radio. QSL?
Roger, Mark, I've got you best on my PA-SDR, and you're about 2 dB or 3 dB over my their noise level, so it's not the greatest, but if you can copy me, okay, maybe you could take some notes, and I could give you some notes about your setup procedure.
Take some notes, and I could give you some notes about your setup procedure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Tell me where you are, please.
Yes, sir. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and we're down around Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. So the first thing on that 7300 would be to be sure that you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. TBW they call it, and it's 100 to 2900, and it's called wide, and it allows your transmitter to be all that it can be frequency response wise, and then it gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. So on that 7300, we suggest that you run that in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, and that would be called wide, Roger.
And that would be called wide, Roger.
Roger, I got that. I'm assuming I'll find you from the menu somewhere.
Okay, so once you get your transmit bandwidth, your TBW, in the 100 to 2900 mode, move on to your compressor processor. We want that on at a 3. Compressor on at a 3. Roger, Roger.
3. Compressor on at a 3. Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger.
All right, and then once you get your compressor on at a 3, move to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand. And as you say the word audio, you become a human test tone generator, and you adjust your mic level until your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3. 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter as you say the word audio and adjust your mic gain control. Roger?
Audio and adjust your mic gain control. Roger?
Yep, I'm doing good. I'm popping all this down. This is for Papa Junior November.
All right, then I would move into my my equalizer, my tone control board, and I would put on my treble. You only have 2 controls. You have a treble control and a bass control, and I would go plus 3 on the treble, plus 3 on your treble control, and minus 2 on your bass control. So plus 3 on the treble, minus 2 on the bass. Roger?
Plus 3 on the treble, minus 2 on the bass. Roger?
Yes, sir. Doing good.
Roger, Roger, Mark, can you crank those in, buddy, and maybe give me a shout next Friday, and we'll see how all those numbers sound. Roger, Roger?
Next Friday, and we'll see how all those numbers sound. Roger, Roger?
Yeah, that sounds good. I really appreciate it. I have a 7300 myself, and so I will, once I finish that move up, I will what time during the day on Fridays are you on? And are you on about the frequency usually?
Roger, Mark, we start at 3:30. We transmit on the Qso-Vlog net from 3:30 till 5. So we got to get out of there right now. But 3:30 till 5, and if you were earlier in there, you maybe have a better copy than later. Roger?
You maybe have a better copy than later. Roger?
And I'm sorry, I missed that. Try again.
And I'm sorry, I missed that. Try again.
Sorry, Mark, it's kind of run out of string right at the moment, but if you want to hear your radio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. So it's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook on a YouTube search, will bring you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,500, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
500, and and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger.
That sounds good. Thank you very much.
Roger, Mark 73, sir. And you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and like I say, if you can, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. And right now, gosh, we got to be moving along here. It's 5 o'clock, and we'll be returning this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, clear.